rated by inflation, how hard it
Yeah.
is for people. So how much of that are we still seeing with inflation now down at 3?
So I guess I would put it this way. I'd say it this way. It's really a question of how do you balance the two risks, the risk of doing too much or doing too little. And, I would say that, we're coming to a place where there really are risks on both sides. It's hard to say exactly whether they're in balance or not, but as our stances become more restrictive and inflation moderates, we do increasingly face that risk. But we need to see that inflation is durably down that far. As you know, we think, and most economists think, that core inflation is actually a better signal of where headline inflation is going, because headline inflation is affected greatly by volatile energy and food prices. So we would want core inflation to be coming down, because that's what we think core is signaling where headline is going to go in the future. And core inflation is still pretty elevated. There's reason to think it can come down now, but it's still quite elevated. And so we think we need to stay on task, and we think we're going to need to certainly hold policy at a restricted levels for some time, and we need to be prepared to raise further if we think that's appropriate.
Well, and then if inflation were to, just a quick follow, if it stays at 3 or drops even a little bit more, I mean, how much of an increase in unemployment do you think is acceptable to get that last bit of inflation? People are talking about the potential difficulty of the so-called last mile of inflation. So, but how much unemployment do you think is justified to get down that last?
So
one
it is a very positive thing that actually